This is Mache, and you're checking out thisis50.com.
Yeah. Okay, we walk off in it, B. Yeah. Ballin' in it, B.
How I got started was really, I always loved shoes. You know, I grew up, you know, not poor, but definitely not the best off person. You know, I lived in a trailer. My dad passed away, and like shoes was always like that one thing that was a way to feel like you were still part of something. Like I could have some Kmart clothes on, but if I had, you know, a nice pair of clean shoes, you felt good about yourself. And it was like, you know, they always say like the first thing a girl looks at if you look at you is your feet. And, you know, it's true. But so I always had that connection with shoes in terms of that. The art part of it, my grandma was an art teacher, so the artistic gene was passed down. I mean, it passed the generation. My mom can't draw a straight line with a ruler, but I got that. It was just one of those God-given things. I was always into art, always into shoes, sports, all that good stuff. Down the road, I actually saw a Complex magazine article with someone doing custom shoes, and me being, I played sports, and so I was always a competitive guy. The competitive guy was like, I could do that. So I found a pair of beat-up shoes and some paint and started doing. Actually, I remember I did a pair of Dipset themed Air Maxes, like 8 shades of purple. It was that time. And, you know, like back then they were dope. You know, in hindsight they were horrible. You know, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to prep shoes. I didn't know how to do any of that stuff. But this is before social media, even before MySpace was happening. You know, I wear them into the barber shop, which was social media back then. You walk in, oh shit. You know, when they come out, I made them. Oh, yo, can you make some? You know, so I started making them for the barbers. You know, I started getting free haircuts because I was doing their shoes, but word of mouth was organic, and you know, it was word of mouth. Like, oh, where'd you get them? Oh, this white boy down the road did them, and you know, but that's how I gained clientele. Once I got better, like any sport, you get better and you get better, and I felt confident to actually start charging money for it. And you know, it wasn't a business; it was just a hobby, and you know, side money. Usually, I ended up buying my Jordans with that money. I could go right back into the system, so it was a vicious circle. You know, you grow up, you get out of school, and do these things. So you have a big boy job. You know, I did it here and there, and then, you know, then social media happened. Then the sneaker boom happened, and you know, sneakers were hot again. And not that they ever weren't, but it was more of a mainstream thing. I started seeing that people started doing customs again. Again, the competitive nature in me came back. It was like, I'm coming out of retirement, and I started doing it again. And after that, you know, this is when social media boomed. This is when I was open up to a whole broad audience, and it was free marketing, you know, between Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. I didn't even know that Instagram was a social media app. I thought it was just pictures. I was taking pictures of my dog with the filter. I just wanted the filter. I didn't even know that people were seeing my pictures. So, like, you know, once I found out people were doing it, and I was taking pictures of my shoes, I started getting people, you know, liking. Like, I remember, like, the following was crazy because, you know, first I was like, oh, wow, like 100 people are following that. It's like 1,000. I was all amped up. You know, fast forward 2-3 years, I'm on almost 500,000 followers. That's crazy. You know, the business part of it just grew. I got better, and, you know, I was always artistic, and I really tried my best to build relationships with people. I've built a lot of great things, but what's been great about it is that organic growth that I had when I first started happens now, because, you know, I can tell everyone in the world how good I am, but when you get people like 50 and you get other people saying this guy's good, go to him. That's the best entertainment, but the best advertising you can get. I mean, there was other guys doing it, but we basically did a brotherhood of people just like to paint shoes, and we would give ourselves constructive criticism, and that's all it was. It wasn't to make money. I mean, yeah, it was cool, but it wasn't like oh shit, we can make money off of this. But now that's what it is, and customizing shoes has grown a whole lot. It's definitely it's funny because, like, when I started, there was no how-to. It was trial and error. You figure it out and you destroy shoes. Like, I could put a kid through junior college with all the money in shoes I destroyed to see how things worked. Like foam posits, forget it. It's like a science experiment. You know, you learn the process and you know, how to properly prep the shoe. And that's another step that a lot of people don't understand, is you have to properly prep the shoe. And that's more important than the actual paint job, because if you're not prepping it, that's going to crack all over the place the first time you wear it. And it's always been about shoes. It's just the fact that now that there are so many people that have a voice and have access, that it's become such a thing. I mean, we're kind of in that society now that you want to be different, but you want to fit in. You want to rock the Jordans like everybody else, but you want to be individual, so you get the Jordans customized. And that, you know, obviously that's a cool way to do it, and you're not going to get made fun of for wearing, you know, some boo-boo sneakers. But back then, when I first started customizing, it was sacrilegious to paint Jordans, you know, because, you know, they weren't releasing Jordans every weekend in a different color. You were painting Air Forces and Dunks and maybe an Air Max. That was it, because you didn't want to be confused with having some fake sneakers on. You know, they made Jordans in every freaking fruity color back then, so you didn't know the difference. Now people will say, oh, they're customs by Mache, and they might be wearing some fake kicks, and they'll be like, oh, these are some custom joints, but you know, you don't know. But it's accepted now. Customs are accepted by mainstream, especially when you got, you know, corporations coming to me and want to do promotion for their stuff. It's cool. It's awesome. I'm actually scarily efficient. I mean, I'll bang out 1-2 pairs a day, you know, given the complexity of the shoe. I mean, I could do easy things like colorways quick, but like if I'm doing more detailed pairs, you know, that I might spend a whole day or two just on that one pair. That's where I do have 3 other guys that help me with like small work, prep work, maybe like doing base coats. But at the end of the day, it's still my touch, it's those things, because you know, at the end of the day, they're buying my name, so I don't never want to compromise the integrity of doing that. But it's also a matter of efficiency. You know, we're in a supply and demand, and there's only one of me. So any way I can help the process of our instant gratification community, I'm all for it. I'm playing ball with like Wale and Trinidad James and all these dudes and like Clue and all these guys, and they're like, oh, he's one of us. You know, it's not like I'm on some fan like trying to get a picture. Like, I'm trying to bust your ass and ball. Like, that's how I was. And those relationships were cool. Like I became cool with Big Tigger because of that, and like he's passing me off to people. Like T.I. called me. It's actually a really, really funny story. He got a phone call from Atlanta. It was a private number. My wife, she goes, who's calling you from Atlanta? I'm like, I don't know. She goes, I'm picking up. Phone. I guess he goes, you know, can I speak to Mache? And you know, she's like, there's no Mache here, because you know they said the name wrong. She's like, who's this? She's like, if it ain't Mache, don't matter who it is. Hung up. So she goes, I was like, who was it? She goes, I don't know. She goes, it kind of sounded like T.I. though. And I grabbed the phone. Tigger texted me like, yo, I just gave T.I. your number. I was like, yeah, because that was him. And she's like, oh my God, I'm never answering your phone ever again. And so I had to call him back, and I'm like, yeah, my wife's crazy. And he's like, whatever. But it was just funny story. But again, it was from a relationship and from All-Star Weekend and from playing ball with all them. And like, oh, this guy's all right. He's not just trying to get up on us like a lot of people are. I mean, everyone wants to come up and benefit from a situation, but you gotta do it the right way. You want to genuinely do it for yourself, and you know, make it a win-win for everybody, not just be like, hey, I'm gonna make some shoes for 50 and I'm gonna come up. No, I mean, he appreciates it, I appreciate it, it's fun, you know, and that's how it should be. A lot of people don't get that part of it. The relationship is more important than sometimes getting put on. Well, the Instagram and the Twitter is at MACHE275. And then actually for inquiries, you go to MacheCustoms.com, and there's a request consultation tab, and you go in there, fill out the form. And we generally hit you back probably within like a week or two. You know, sometimes it's more of a really, really bogged down. But that's it. And then, you know, I have Facebook and all that good stuff. And my phone number is, no, I'm not giving you my phone number. But, yeah, that's the best way to get a hold of me, most definitely. I look forward to making something for you guys. Well, Mike's the best. I mean, that's no matter what. I mean, and after that, it's tough between Kobe and LeBron, just because, you know, LeBron still got a lot of stuff to do. And, you know, obviously Kobe had a different cast, and it's a different time. And they're different players. You know, like Kobe, if you're going to say anyone's close enough to Jordan, it's Kobe just because of the position they play. LeBron's it's a different time. He's a different player. He's a different mentality. So it's like comparing watermelons and apples and oranges. You know what I mean? It's really, it's a tough decision. But yeah, I mean, Mike's the GOAT. I mean, he always will be. Thanks for listening to me talk this long. I appreciate it. Thanks for this 50 for having me. And yeah. God bless. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Easter. All that good stuff. And, yeah.
Thing is slow motion like soldier slim. Come around, wipe it down like Boo sitting. Bet a thing up for me and show me that you love me if it's really too much for you.